Hi, I'm Mike Bain from Christian Voice New Zealand. Now things are starting to get really weird, but what I'm about to share with you sounds very strange, but it's all true. Before I get into it, let me ask you a question. If you could have a passport permanently embedded into your hand, would you do it? Amazingly, some people in Sweden are willingly to do this themselves. They're putting microchips that contain their vaccine passports information into their hands, and they're raving about how convenient this is. Do they not understand where this could lead? Society is increasingly being divided into two classes of people, and the class of people willingly conforming is being granted many privileges that the other group is being denied, and we can see it happening in this country. Many believe that this is just a phase and that things will eventually go back to normal. But the truth is that this is not just a phase at all. For a long time across the world, health authorities have promised us, and this promise is echoed by the New Zealand government of New Zealand, if we all do exactly what they're asking, the pandemic would come to an end. But now they're openly admitting that COVID is going to be with us permanently. The Chief Medical Advisor of the White House, Anthony Fauci, says it's unlikely that the COVID-19 coronavirus will ever be wiped out, and insists that the world is just going to have to live with it. If we're going to have to start living with COVID, this means that there is to be no end to the vaccine passports, the mandates or the injections. I don't know if you've noticed, under the health order, we now have the traffic light system where we, the people of New Zealand, must produce a certificate if we want to live anything like a normal life. But there's never been a suggestion of a sunset clause for this action. You know, the CEO of Pfizer was reported as saying, "We're going to have an annual revaccination, and that should be able to keep us really safe." Should, and the emphasis is on the word should, be able to keep us safe. Hey, is this optimism or hope or just ear tickling? This means you're going to have to keep getting booster shots year after year after year to keep earning those privileges that have been granted. Well, what was those privileges again? Oh yes, freedom, a normal life. But with the arrival of the Omicron variant into the United Kingdom, health authorities now recommend a booster every quarter. Hang on, wait, that's every 13 weeks. They want to make these authoritarian measures a permanent part of our lives. So this is what our society is going to look like from now on, unless we take a stand. In Europe, reports coming out of Germany says that Chancellor Olaf Scholz is in favour of introducing mandatory COVID vaccinations for all Germans as early as February. Now, over the border, neighbouring Austria want to permanently isolate the non-vaxxed until they take the jab. Other major nations are considering similar measures. But make no mistake about it, New Zealand remains on course for enforced vaccination. Once vaccines become mandatory for an entire population, vaccine passports will be absolutely necessary for anyone who still wants to live anything resembling a normal life. Whether it's on your phone or a card or embedded in your skin, you'll need to carry it with you wherever you go in case you're stopped by law enforcement authorities. You know, under the COVID-19 Public Health Response Amendment Order, these law enforcement officers include members of the New Zealand Armed Forces. Does any of this sound eerily familiar? It should. In the Bible book of Revelation, it describes a similar system whereby people are forced to receive a mark on their right hand or their forehead. For those who refuse to comply, they'll be unable to buy or sell. They'll effectively be cut off from society. But are COVID vaccines the mark of the beast written about in the book of Revelation? The answer to that is no. The mark of the beast will involve a conscious decision to give one's allegiance to the Antichrist. No one will accept it by mistake or for purely health reasons alone. But nevertheless, vaccine mandates and passports create a social system enabling the mark of the beast. If they're allowed to stand, they'll create a system indistinguishable in impact from the true mark of the beast. In doing so, they're paving the way for the rise of the Antichrist and the mark of the beast as outlined in the book of Revelation. Now, just don't believe me, feel free to do your own research. A great place to start is in the Bible, in the book called Revelation chapter 13. Look, you may not understand it, but ask a friend who you know is a Christian, or get in touch with us and we'll find someone in your area who'll be able to assist. But above all, keep reading the book of Revelation. There's some exciting things for all of us towards the end of the Bible.
Thank you for listening. For more information, jump online to christianvoicenewzealand.com.